Let me watch this. I'll take a nap. I'll take a nap. Try to rob my watch.
Okay. Tell me when you're sleeping.
I'm sleeping.
You would never say that if you... Okay, ready?
Do it. Hey, good morning, babe. Boom, watch fan.
Recording.
Yeah, that's going to do a lot to quiet the criticism about us having
the one main criticism we always get.
It's a Hodinkee bar stool and a bird cage had a child.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what bird cage is.
Yeah, bird cage.
No.
Movie?
Oh, yeah. What is that about?
Get the out.
No, for real.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're
I really don't know. I have no idea.
It's about two.
I know it's the...
two gay guys.
What am I thinking?
No,
of?
you're an idiot. That's Bird Box, you f***ing moron. It's Nathan Lane and Nathan
Lane, yeah.
Yeah, Nathan Lane and Robin Williams.
No way.
Hello, Frisco. Come on.
No. I thought it was this.
What is up, Watch Fam? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
And I'm Michael. I'm a $1,200 crystal Timex.
You know what? That was $100 more than I was willing to pay.
Yep.
If you guys aren't familiar with the series, Michael and I sit down. We talk about a bunch of watch news.
Yep.
Everything from literally Timex to Rolex and Patek. Today, that's actually what we are talking about. A couple of topics. A crazy complicated JLC Reverso that recently came out. Mm-hmm. A Rolex that's coming up for auction. A Rolex that's quite polarizing. It's an interesting subject.
Yeah, it is.
Talking about a Timex. That's $1,200. It's an expensive Timex.
It is.
Really cheap for a car, but a lot of money for a Timex.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
My car maintenance bill isn't that new now.
It's true. Your gas bill is pretty close.
Shop again.
What happened?
I don't know.
Let's just say, how many times has it been in the shop?
5.
Christian was putting the wrong type of gas in his very expensive car.
I wasn't being cheap. It's because my grandfather always told me that people that put in premium gas are just bitches and little, soft tan whiny pants.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I said to the car guy today, I was like, I think I'm just gonna get an X5, the BMW truck.
Yeah.
And he's like, but it's so boring, dude. I'm like,
he needs to keep this quiet.
Yeah, right. I'm like, okay.
You've seen this guy more than you've seen me.
I'll keep him.
Okay. The Mercedes guy really wants me to keep the Mercedes.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm gonna get a more reliable car. He's like, no, keep the less reliable car.
Dude, that's not cool.
Yeah, right.
Okay, sure. You're like,
I called up Michael the other day, and I was just so fed up with this whole car thing. I was driving. I have a Vespa, so I was using the Vespa. I was using
depressed guy in a Vespa.
I was using my sister's Jeep. Whatever. I'm borrowing everyone's cars in the family just so I can get around. And I called up Michael and I said, dude, like, I am so down and out about this. Like, I'm getting so desperate. I'll buy a Lexus if I need to.
Yeah, but it won't break down.
Yeah. Well, Hyundais never break down. Back to watches.
First topic. Yes, sir. First topic is the Deep Sea Special, a very polarizing watch, like you said, actually. And this one is going up for auction at Christie's. Yep. And it's very interesting because it is number 1. It is the prototype.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Well, first of all, prototype Rolexes, just like, beginning and end, like, it doesn't exist really, right? Yeah. Prototype Rolexes, they just don't. Rolexes were serially produced watches. Mm-hmm. There are thousands and millions of these watches out there. So when you talk about rare and Rolex, it's not the same thing as rare and other brands, right?
True.
You talk about rare and Rolex, a couple thousand were made, or a couple hundred were made, right? Mm-hmm. You talk about rare and Patek, and there's one. Or even sometimes they don't even know if it really exists, but on paper there's one.
That's a different thing. When Patek is like, can we actually get that back to put it in our museum?
Yes. On many occasions, you guys aren't familiar with like going back into the archives. Patek or other brands will say, we know for sure that the case was ordered. Mm-hmm. Let's say a one-off two-tone 1518. We know it was ordered. We don't really know if it was ever assembled, and we don't know if it was assembled, if it was ever sold. Right. But technically speaking, this does exist. We just don't know where it is.
Exactly.
That's rare in real life.
And cool.
Rolex, when you talk about rare, it's a little different. Yeah. This is actually
rare. There were 36 of them made. This is 35.
Right.
It is not the most wearable watch in the world, but it was
also hideous.
Oh, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's probably the ugly. It looks like a fake cheap Rolex that you would be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a horrible looking watch. I would never wear it. Mm-hmm. I
don't think you can wear it. It's like this thick.
Yeah.
Massive.
Even if you could wear it, I wouldn't.
No. It looks like someone bought a woman's Rolex and then said, I really wish this could go 3,000 meters under the sea.
Yeah.
And then they made that happen.
I mean, it is kind of cool that Rolex made it because, it really kind of is evidence. Like, okay, they, at one point in history, they really were a company that manufactured watches for use. And it was, well, I was going to say it was just for function, but it is gold as well.
It is two-toned,
kind of cool. It's kind of like
it shows that
sneak peek
Rolex DNA was always there.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, they always wanted to be rich to some degree, too, which is pretty cool.
This also kind of reminds me of just because you can, should you?
Right.
Like, if Ferrari said, we made the fastest land car ever, and there are 16 rockets strapped around it, you're like, okay, well, yeah, technically, of course.
Yeah, right.
If you put, like, an inch of plexiglass in this, like, 2-inch thick steel case, yeah, of course. That's just how it works.
It's amazing that this watch is so ugly, the crown isn't even the ugliest part.
That is a hideous crown.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's like a butter bracelet. Like everything.
Yeah. The bracelet's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, the bracelet's just an old oyster, right?
Oyster rivet.
A riveted oyster.
Yeah. I actually love how thin that is. My question is going to be, how will this be received, by the market? What kind of number will it demand? I don't know. My rule of thumb generally is it's desirability next to rarity, and that'll kind of give you the idea, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of things go into desirability. Obviously, rarity is one of those things as well. But of course, wearability goes into it. And
I was gonna say that's the biggest thing for me in this. That's a drawback. Well, this was made to be strapped on the outside of a vessel. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's what's such a... Like, if you're going to buy this, I feel like you are going to put it on a stand in a glass box in your place.
Right. But the question is, generally these watches and everything really, they bring really big numbers when the mass market gets involved, when regular rich folks get involved, not just super watch geeks. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how many, people that aren't super into watches, how many just regular rich folks that collect stuff are going to be interested in this, because it's horrible looking. So I think that a lot of guys are going to say like, nah, not for me, I can't wear that, that's not cool, it just looks stupid.
It looks dumb.
Right. So I think that'll be a drawback. I really do.
100%. I agree.
I'm interested, but it's more of a museum piece. I think like you said, it looks better behind glass.
Well, what's interesting is that these are coming from museums.
Right.
It literally is a museum piece.
Mm-hmm.
So
a what piece?
Museum piece.
Museum.
Well, that's New Jersey.
As opposed to
Cape Cod.
Boston.
Museum.
Museum. All right, Graham. You guys want to go to the museum next week?
What are those wax utilities that kids use to draw?
Crayons.
Not I say crayons.
Crayons. Yeah, crayons and crayons. Crayons. That's from like Pennsylvania. Crayons.
Obviously, this specific watch is not relevant to you, but the Reverso is.
How so?
Isn't that the next watch you want to get?
Oh yeah, the Reverso Moon.
Yeah,
I love that watch. Totally getting one. I'm just working on it with JLC. I think we're gonna do a film around it, and that would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Plus, I love to commemorate partnerships with buying a watch from the company. Blah 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 blah. Same case.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely lovely. I think that a lot of brands do skeletons, whatever, but obviously this is more complicated. This is a minute repeater.
Yes.
But also just the architecture of the of the movement is incredible.
Yeah.
When you do a skeleton, everything, naturally, it sounds like I'm being obvious, but it's much more difficult, it's much more difficult. Everything really needs to be perfect. Like, it doesn't just need to work, mm-hmm. right? Which is, minute repeater needs to work. Mm-hmm. But when you see everything, now it all needs to be absolutely gorgeous as well.
Right.
This is very different.
That's what's interesting is Steve Jobs, he brought that to computers, that the inside should be just as neat as the outside, because prior to that it was like wires and everything was like kind of roughly soldered, and he was like, no, it needs to look beautiful on the inside as well. So then
they do like a plastic case pack or something like that?
Yeah, and they were like, look at how nice it is. Cool. And now all of their signatures, I don't know if they're still on Apple circuit boards, but for a while, like, we're on every board. Not them hand signing it. Like Steve Jobs and everybody's. Cool. Yeah. But what's interesting about this is, like you said, it's a skeleton, which is hard to do. Mm-hmm. It's a minute repeater, which is very difficult to do. You can see the minute repeater action actually happening. Yep. On top of all that, you can see the time on the other side too.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it is a skeleton, but there is still there's more resemblance of a dial on the back of that too.
That is crazy.
That's insane. That is complete watch.
How much is it?
Let's see. Take a guess.
I don't know, 300 grand. 250. Oh,
no, euros.
250 euro. So that's
Hey Siri, convert 250,000 euros to US dollars.
It's like $310,000.
250,000 euros is $293,255.
I was 17 grand off.
It's nothing at this
So
price.
that price is nothing.
Yeah, that
That's
price
the tax,
even
dude.
Right?
I was basically right.
Yeah, this is the 944 movement too. So it's a different movement, obviously, because it's a minute repeater, but still 35 hours of power reserve.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love this watch. Before we get into the next topic, you want to do a wristwatch check?
Yes, sir. I am wearing a Rolex Explorer, a 36 millimeter Rolex Explorer, which, wowie powie.
You love it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
I really
size.
want an Explorer.
I know. I don't know why you don't buy one. This
Money.
was for sale, actually.
Well, for a while, they always had extra shock absorbent features in their movement, but now they're also going anti-magnetic with their newest ones. But that anti-shock absorbent feature, I've always been like, that has made it so much cooler.
I love this watch. I mean, obviously I like subs, and GMTs, but this watch just has always fit me so much better.
Yeah.
It definitely works different than a Datejust, but it's sporty, and this one is in great condition. The lugs are super sharp and everything.
This is what's interesting is that there are watches, of course, basically any watch you can get from IWC and stuff like that have a little bit of sportiness to them, are 100 meters water resistant and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But this is the epitome of, no, this is the watch that you do whatever you want with.
Right.
This is that
Rolex literally owns the right to say
this is the Explorer watch. The other, you could call it an adventure watch. But Explorer sounds better. Yeah, this is literally that watch.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing my Cartier Santos Carré. Beautiful watch.
Indeed.
I've been wearing it a lot lately. I moved, and it was the only watch that I took with me, to start off with.
Yeah.
So I've been wearing it a lot. Mm-hmm. I love it. But I'm admiring a Rolex Oyster and a Patek Philippe Calatrava. All three of these watches are available in the Theo and Harris Watch Shop,
yes, sir.
Which I personally curate, as you guys know. Mm-hmm. We have a ton of stuff in there, mostly from Rolex and Omega, but a ton of other brands as well.
Yep.
Michael took a bunch of photos. We got some Federico and Stant going in there. I got some Omega. I got some Oris, a couple of Orises. Got a lot of stuff. And even a couple of Tudors as well.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's pretty stacked right now.
It's pretty stacked right now,
yeah.
This time of year, right? The fall, everyone starts buying watches again.
Of course,
in the summer, everything slows down because people are, hanging out and at the beach and they're busy and whatever. Yep. But now that fall kicks back, people are like, oh yeah,
I like watches.
Let me get back to my hobbies.
Yeah, right.
Enough drinking on the beach. Let me get back to my hobbies.
Yeah, it's true.
So anyway, I wanted to talk about this watch just for a second. I mean, this is a lovely Oyster. This is an early 1950s Oyster, and what I think is so cool is, naturally you've got the Rolex design language in the case, right? Yes. The Oyster is the Oyster. Period. End. But this is from the era when Rolex actually, not to say that the dials got less cool later on, because the 60s and 70s are gorgeous blue dials and all these crazy things. Of course. But this is a different language.
Yeah, Rolex played with depth in this era.
Absolutely. I mean, all these the gold applied indices, just the shapes, everything about this watch is just magnificent.
Agreed.
This is kind of like a one-watch collection piece, in my opinion. Suede strap, bracelet. You could put this on an alligator strap.
Yep.
You actually don't need. We don't need any watches. Our phones tell better time.
Of course.
But I mean this.
You
don't need another watch. I feel very similarly about the Cartier. The Santos.
Yep.
I can wear this with a suit. I can wear this, with a t-shirt. Definitely. Yep. Mm-hmm. But if I had to have one watch, it probably wouldn't be a Cartier.
Yeah.
I love Cartier.
Yep.
But it's a Rolex for me.
That Rolex also. Probably my favorite design, just the subtly curved eggshell dial, the leaf hands and everything like that. Everything about that watch, I like. That is classic Rolex at its best.
Again, these three watches are available in the Theo and Harris Watch Shop with a bunch of other watches. Mm-hmm. And it was funny too, because last week when we did the same thing, people actually, a lot of people went and bought the watches from the shop. Did you notice that?
No.
They did, because we pushed everyone there and obviously got a lot of emails and a lot of attention and sold. So I'm sure this stuff won't be available for long.
Indeed.
I'm sure about that. But I guess my question to you is, I just said if I had to buy, if a one-watch brand would be Rolex, which one would it be for you?
One-watch brand?
Yeah.
No, definitely Rolex.
Accutron holds a oddly special place in my heart. Because, when Michael came aboard to the company, holy shit.
It'll be a year?
It's a year like next week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Holy
yeah, I know.
That really just hit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
12 months.
Wow.
I know.
Where's the scotch?
I don't even drink.
Yeah, but I do.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
have one for the both of us.
Yeah, have one for the both of us. Fill it all the way up to the top.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. That was cool. Okay, so long story short, man. Wow, we're a couple of lucky ducks,
Yeah,
huh?
a couple lucky ducks in a row.
I'm a lucky guy.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, when Michael came aboard, October 1st of 2021, literally his first day as an employee, right? First
2020.
day. 2020, right?
Yep.
First day as an employee, we went and did a shoot for Accutron.
Yep.
And this was before Theo and Harris branched out into the media branch, right? Before we created commercials for brands. And at the time, it was, it was kind of like scary. It was like, what the
Yeah,
doing?
it was scary.
No
like, who's
idea.
this guy?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about flashback to like the weirdest time, right?
Yeah.
I remember, we got along really, really well at first, and we continued to get along. But still, even if you get along with someone at first, you don't know how that's going to scale.
Yeah, same.
You just don't know.
We would constantly say on the phone, like, obviously, okay, it's the first 3 months. We don't really know how each other actually works. We're both performative right now.
Right.
We don't know yet.
That just never went away, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we kind of, right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Well, fine is... What the Here I am, like, kissing your ass and fucking praising you.
It's definitely satisfactory.
I don't care. No, please. I got plenty of other going on.
No.
I'll go open up a restaurant.
Yeah, he freaks out.
Christian, poor next month. Anyway, so Accutron was our first shoot, and Accutron in many ways, and we did the project almost for free. It was like a joke.
Yeah, right.
But it was not only the first time working together, it was the first time we kind of, were able to show the internet, the world, that there is something to storytelling, right?
Yeah.
And that, of course, exists in other industries, of course.
Yeah.
And watches, they do a pretty bad job at it. They've done historically a pretty bad job at it. So yeah, it was like our coming out party.
Like, this was the most nerve-wracking shoot. I was in the studio alone. I had no idea what I was doing because I've never shot a watch in that capacity. And then the film went out. And nothing crazy happened. But then you just casually mentioned it in a video. Yeah, we just did Accutron, and we're doing something for Grand Seiko or something. And then it just went, right? It was that video you dropped it, and like 4 brands were like, "Whoa!"
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it happened. And I think, and this isn't. It's funny. I was going to say this isn't a channel where we talk about business, but it's funny because it has become that because our banter has just evolved into a lot of other things. So I can talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I think. And I've posted this before on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Christian Zerone. I posted this before on Instagram, and it got some flack, but I was right, so it doesn't really matter. And really, it was I built. I mean, me on the sales end. We built it, but on the sales end, I did it, right? Just reaching out to these clients, whatever, and getting them to agree. And a lot of it was in the beginning for free. I mean,
cost
cost,
the very
sometimes
most.
losing money. You know, and the entire idea was that the next guy doesn't know I lost money on that project.
Right.
The next guy has no idea. The
Right.
next guy is just like, oh wow, they're working with them.
Yeah.
That's validation.
Yeah.
So I sought validation. I wanted to work with all of the big brands so that other big brands continue to kind of continue to do it. And when I posted that, I said, basically what I said was, which is true, we have no problem as Americans, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for college education, but the idea of working for free for a week disgusts us. Right?
Yeah,
it's a total double standard. It's social bullshit. It's incredibly political, and it's bullshit. Right?
Yeah.
Because we'll pay all this money for education, and yet when it's given an opportunity to work for a week for free to actually get a serious return, it's like, no, that's below me.
Yeah.
Well, it's not below me. It's not below me. Like it's not right. Like like my grandfather was a cab driver. My other grandfather was a janitor, and like nothing was ever below any of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you can work for Omega for free. Like what the. Yeah, of course you can, and you will.
Yeah.
So as long as Michael's getting paid, I don't need to.
Yeah.
Right? That's how. Anyway, enough blowing.
But look at us now. We've made hundreds of dollars.
We made a year later, and I've made several $100s doing this.
Who would have thought the ad business would explode? We made $700.
We made $700 last year.
In 12 months, Michael.
We started off with Summer Proof, which was a film we did for Omega about. Well, you can go watch it. Right? It's about a backyard barbecue, but really, it's about. It's in our series called Heirloom Pictures, and the idea of an heirloom picture, as you would imagine, very self-explanatory, is that the subject is passing down this hobby to the next generation, owning things that are worth passing down, just kind of family values, really, you know, and yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Anyway, we're working on a couple of more heirloom pictures. One with I don't want to get into all of them, but they're really, really beautiful. It's probably like, I think that once we've got a few on the burner right now, and it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Because it matters. I think that I wrote on an Instagram post, like, we all, as good people, all people, but good people consciously, seek permanence. Right? We want to be a part of things that'll last. We want to own things that'll last. We want to be people that'll last. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what this series taps into, and it's great.
Yeah, great.
I love it.
Same.
And it wouldn't be possible without you, Michael.
It wouldn't be possible without you.
I'd have to hire someone else.
And I
No,
would
I'm
have to
just
find
kidding.
another job. All right, so this guy got his watch stolen right off his wrist.
Schmuck. By the way, did you see Larry David at the fashion show?
No.
Oh my God. Tell me this isn't me every day of my life.
All right, let me see.
His ears plugged.
Why are they? Oh, just because like
Because
music
he
and
can't
stuff?
hear it, it's too loud.
Oh, that's so funny.
I mean, literally sitting there at fashion show like this.
People are like, is Christian having a good time? I'm like, hey, he's having a great
He's
time.
having a great time.
Why?
Everyone thinks that I'm incredibly social. Meanwhile, if you actually know,
Not
I am
social.
the least social
at all,
person.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But this man was not social either. He was sleeping in a hotel lobby.
Nice transition.
Thank you.
Tell the story.
I was just riding off that compliment.
Oh, yeah.
It felt great. So he was sleeping inside, was it a hotel? Sleeping inside the lobby, yeah, of a hotel.
Yeah.
When the perpetrator just took the watch off his wrist and left.
It's amazing.
Which, you know what's interesting? It's one of those experiments, and like someone saw that happen. Like someone else was like, "Oh my God, look at that happen!"
You got the guy from What Would You Do comes out. Hi, I'm John Quinones from
Yeah,
What Would You Do.
but it reminds me of today.
My favorite. I'm sorry. My
There you
favorite
go.
thing about. Did you ever watch What Would You Do as a kid?
I like briefly. If I like walked by the TV, it was fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
Once maybe. And
Yeah.
my favorite thing, even as a child, that I noticed was so something would happen. He'd come out and say, "Hi, I'm John Quinones from What Would You Do?" And it's funny because Chris Hansen didn't need to introduce himself
Because
everyone knew.
Everyone's like,
No one knew who the John Quinones was because he wasn't famous.
Yeah.
So he would need to say, "From What Would You Do?" before you could say who. Hi, I'm John Quinones from What Would You Do?
I'm Christian,
And
the
you-
curative here, and I
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna kill us. I said
What's
it.
wrong with you?
What's going on?
I've been a good friend to you.
That was funny.
How could you snipe me like that from a grassy knoll? Kennedy reference.
Well, I have two things that relate to that exactly.
I'm sure you do.
One guy was walking by. These like three guys were walking by, and they said, "I like TGV better than I like Bark and Jack." As they walked by me, and I was like,
When did this happen?
This probably actually on the weekend because I was walking.
This
I was walking in
weekend?
Hoboken, yeah, and someone said
They
it.
did it on purpose?
No, they were just talking. They were talking amongst themselves. They didn't mention us, but I was like, you know, they might actually know who I am.
That's funny.
So I like turned around to see and like looked at them, and they looked at me and just kept walking. And I was like,
I
wow.
suppose, I don't know. I just never find myself saying things like that.
No, me neither.
I don't know. And hey, listen, if you guys talk about watch channels, never mind. Let's not get into this.
The second thing this reminds me of, like, clearly someone saw this, someone take this wrist off this man, or this watch off this man, is today, as I was walking to my car to drive here, a tractor trailer went up against a Jeep, scratched it for, like, the entire length, and then when it turned, basically that entire back part just, like, went into the car and, like, pulled along it
Where
and
is this
just
story
ripped the
going?
car. Hold on. So no one, like, there's people staring at that, like, being like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And then everybody just went back to their business. I was like, well, I got to get to the studio, so I'm not going to chase this guy
Jesus
down.
Christ.
And I feel like that's the exact same thing that happened.
I think so. So I always try to do the right thing, or I think I always do the right thing if something happens in public, right? Well, period. But especially in public, a lot of people like they just whistle, they're happy wanderers, and they go about, they're afraid, whatever. What the reason that I'm ever hesitant, even though I always do something, is always because like now I look like an Italian American dude. It's like the term is Budinsky. You're like a Budinsky. A Budinsky is like a piece of parsley. Like you don't mind your own business. You're in everything.
Yeah,
It's
excuse me,
annoying.
sir.
Yeah, it's like, dude, relax.
Right.
Mind your own business.
Right.
Because if I'm in a beef and someone comes up to me to butt in,
they're Badinsky.
Yeah, you're a Badinsky and you're gonna get a smack.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't like that. But particularly, I don't know if you saw, again, politics completely aside. There was a group of women from some state, I don't know, it was Texas, whatever, that beat up a server that asked for their ID cards, whatever. Again, all that shit aside, you're gonna beat somebody up because they told you can't eat somewhere? This isn't a sit-in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not. Whatever. Now it sounds like I'm trivializing certain politics and defending others. It's not the point. Listen, I was in Paris 2 weeks ago, and on a couple of occasions, I forgot I got the vaccine. I had my card, and I forgot it. Mm-hmm. Well, you can't come. All right, you're doing your job, and I get it.
Yeah, especially if it's a server. They're like, dude, someone else might have to do this.
All right,
yeah.
I don't want you to lose your job.
Yeah, right.
You're not, it's
NBD.
Right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're good.
So yeah, get stolen off his wrist.
You think he was in on it?
Oh, that's a criminal mind right there.
Always. Every time someone gets robbed, I'm like, they got it cut.
Interesting.
Yeah, of course he was in on it.
Then yeah.
Come on, he didn't wake up?
Are we sleeping in a hotel lobby?
I think it was a move. I think it was 100% a move.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't wake up? What is this guy, narcoleptic?
Right.
I mean,
does it say what time?
Ready, watch this. I'll take a nap. Try to rob my watch.
Okay. Tell me when you're sleeping.
I'm sleeping.
You would never say that if you... Okay, ready?
Do it. Hey, good morning, babe. It was a celebratory jack that got me. The first jack was fine. The second jack, woo!
Second jack, what are we doing?
Either the guy was in on it, or he's a moron, a momo.
You wake up, you're like, oh no,
again?
Oh yeah, his Patek was stolen the day before.
You know what's funny too is, obviously he went and looked at the video because it's on camera. But if I woke up somewhere without my watch, the last thing I would think was that someone stole it. I would say,
same.
Oh, I must have left it somewhere.
Yeah.
Remember the story when I left? I thought I lost my gold. I thought my gold Rolex got stolen. Remember that? The gold Rolex, the day chest. Remember the Russian girls?
Yes.
Remember that? Anyway, long story short, a couple of friends of mine, whatever, we had a party, blah, 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 we didn't know these people, blah, 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 yada, 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 in Seinfeld terms, and I woke up without a watch, a gold Rolex, and it took like 6 months, before I found out that I put it in an old cereal box in my pantry.
All of it.
To protect it from being stolen, by the way. I put it in a cereal box at last minute, like hiding it. I was like, yeah, I'll be right there.
In a very cartoon way.
Yeah. Stupid. Camera looks at me, I go,
they'll never know it's here.
6 months later, I go to have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I'm like, wow, I just made 14 grand.
I can't believe what they're putting in the box these days. You know what's funny?
I started crying of laughter.
What's funny is that one of the first days I was photographing watches.
That's right.
Christian misplaced a GMT.
Yeah, black.
And I didn't know the dynamic that has happened before. Right. I thought this was a very unique thing. So I'm just standing in their living room as Christian is running around looking for this watch. And I'm like, how long until Christian looks at me and is like, where's the watch, new guy? And I was like,
you're like, you're fine. I haven't been here for a minute. I'm already being accused of theft.
Like, he already didn't notice I stole the Explorer. But I was just like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, I'm with his entire family again.
You're not going to win.
And be like, where's the watch? I'm like, I don't have it.
I don't have it.
I don't like that. I don't have it.
Don't stop me, Smee. Don't stop. You ever see like Hook?
Yeah.
Don't stop me, Smee. He's gonna kill himself. Don't stop me, Smee. Don't stop me, Smee. Stop me, Smee. Stop me. Come on. You know
I don't remember.
Oh, come on.
All this stuff that, like, usually I don't see the movies that you say, but then the movies that you do say, I've seen once.
Well, I watched Hook a couple of months ago, and I cried.
Yeah.
Okay, and I haven't cried watching a movie in a long time. I haven't cried watching a movie since Radio.
Wow.
Before
movies?
Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Like with talkies?
Stupid.
Yes.
Or as my grandfather would say,
this is the finale.
Conversation.
This is the finale.
This is the finale of the conversation?
I think so.
All right, ready? So Timex. Timex is a manufacturer of affordable, Generally, quartz watches.
Yes.
Fun. Everyone loves a Timex. I love it's like a swatch.
The kids love Timex.
Everyone loves Timex.
Yeah.
They have done a series of more like serious mechanical watches in the last couple of years.
Marlins,
Snoopies.
Snoopy's.
The Marlins, the Snoopies, all these things. Really, really cool. Love them to death. But they just released a rainbow. They went off of the rainbow trend. Now, the rainbow trend, I don't know who invented it, but it was probably most popularized by Rolex with their Daytona.
Yep.
They also introduced it with their Day-Date, which I adore. Chanel has a rainbow. A lot of companies have rainbows now, and I think that they're absolutely lovely.
Same.
Now, Timex just introduced a rainbow, and it's not with diamonds, or I'm sorry, not they're generally not with diamonds. It's not with sapphire, like colored sapphires.
Right.
It's with crystal. Now, it was $1,200. That's a lot of money for a Timex.
It is
a little silly. I bet you can find one on eBay a couple months from now for like $600.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
But kind of fun in a way.
Oh, I love it.
Fun.
I like the digital one.
Yeah,
just because I'm like, it's just a weird looking watch.
There you go. That's fun.
Yeah.
Again, would I wear it? No. Or maybe I would. You know what? I would. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I'm done lying about it.
Like, look at it on her wrist. Like, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know?
She looks cool as shit. So for $1,200, would you recommend this to a love interest? I mean, it's certainly targeted to women.
Yeah.
It's targeted. We could wear it.
Would I recommend it to a love interest?
Whatever we want.
Double wrist.
Double wrist. But would you tell your girlfriend? Yeah, sure. Okay, ready? Girlfriend comes to you and says, wow. I know, like, you're the watch guy.
Yeah.
You're the watch guy. Do you think this is a good buy? Can I buy this? Do you give me your permission? Not you know. And I don't need your permission, but like, do you have your like approval?
Right. Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. What about you? Absolutely.
I tell her, frankly, you owe me a couple of gifts, okay? And $1,200 is a lot of money for a girl that owes me a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, $1,200 bucks.
Right?
I don't know. It's a little bit heavy.
It is. It's like you said. It's like just a little bit too expensive.
Man.
But that being said, if that's the watch that she wanted, I'd be like, I don't have a better recommendation for you. You know what I mean?
Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know what? Let's
Get it,
recommend
babe.
them.
Get it, babe.
Listen, babe. Frankly, it's been a good month.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I would.
Yeah. All right.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.